Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am Tonya Hofmann. This is the Tonya Hofmann Change Your World TV and radio show. I am so excited that you're here today. I have an incredible guest on, Cheryl Nielsen. Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Hi, Tonya. I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. It is great to have so many amazing connections like Cheryl that I get to increase not only my database, my knowledge, my connection factor, but I can bring it to you also, right in the convenience of your home, your office, your cell phone, whatever you're listening to us today on. I am also excited about our subject matter today. You know, I own the Public Speakers Association, so you can always go check Cheryl out and anybody else at Public Speakers with an S, Association, all spelled out, .com. So today we're talking a little bit about opportunity. And sometimes opportunity, we don't see it quite knocking like we think it's going to knock. Don't you think, Cheryl? Sometimes you're like, what?
Sometimes it just shows up. Yeah. It shows up and presents itself when you least expect it.
Exactly.
But if you embrace it as opportunity, that I think is the key.
Perfect. And that's what I think is so hard for most people is things happen all the time for us. And opportunities happen all the time for us. But a lot of times we're not poised to notice it. And yes. I know you're a certified divorce counselor. Is that correct?
Certified divorce coach.
Coach, there you go. And you talk about, you got a book, show everybody your fabulous book.
Yes. Yeah, this is my book, Meritage Divorce.
Oh, fabulous. Say it again.
Okay, the title is Meritage Divorce. It's a blend of spiritual and physical emotional guidance through wine-colored glasses. Because I say wine-colored glasses because it's written in wine metaphors and a wine theme for the wine lover.
Because you're a wine connoisseur, right?
I'm a wino and a wine connoisseur of sorts. A little bit of experience with a vineyard. And so writing in wine metaphors kind of lightened the subject matter and made it, a little bit more palatable, a little easier to swallow.
So tell me about this whole divorce and how you saw opportunity in your divorce and in others also.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of opportunity in divorce. Now, divorce is sometimes a symptom of something buried inside of you that's manifesting itself through the divorce. And oftentimes we can look at divorce as an opportunity to liberate us from a deeply unsatisfying life, offer healing. It's also an opportunity to realign with our authentic selves. So if we use the experience of divorce to embark on self-discovery, we can again use it as an opportunity to realign with our authentic selves and become acquainted again with that person that we may have set aside in the relationship that wasn't working. And so what I like to say is you want to find out what the varietal of your core is. You want to re-engage with yourself and learn about yourself. And I use it as a wine demonstration. Are you a Cabernet? Do you see yourself as a Cabernet? And familiarize yourself. And you have to drink your own wine for a while and remember what you taste like. So, life's too short to drink bad wine, right? Sometimes, you just got to spit it out, dump the bottle, move on. So
I love that.
Lots of opportunity.
And I think, too, when you look at a lot of divorce, it's not just a divorce between a husband and wife. It could be between family members. It could be between partners in business. It could be friends. I have divorced quite a few friends that were very toxic.
Yes. Very good. I like the way you said that. Absolutely. Divorce is on many levels, and we have so many identities that we carry. I call them labels. If you think of a wine bottle with a label that defines what's in the bottle, that you wear on the outside to show the world, this is who I am. And divorce is oftentimes about shedding a lot of labels and identity. And through that, there's a lot of growth and a lot of, change. And some of it is scary at first because you're in that midst of change and you're looking for new ways, new relationships, new ways to identify yourself and relabel yourself. And it's that period of time when you're unlabeled that is the growth part, and when you're trying to rediscover yourself. And yes, divorce is layered with losses. I mean, it could be mutual friends, it could be your home, it could be, a lot of things. So you really have to just prepare yourself for this and think about, going within and finding that inner strength and knowing that at the end of the day, whatever wasn't working, it is like a cleanse, right? You're kind of detoxing from everything that's surrounded with the life that you once have that's no longer serving you well, and you're realigning yourself with things that will serve you well. And it's a tough time. It's tumultuous. It's embarking on self-discovery. And I like to say that it's kind of like you're going back into a barrel and you're reproducing yourself and you're becoming the wine you want to be. So as soon as the wood imparts the characteristics of the wood into the wine, and in this whole process that you go through is adding character, building strength, and when you get bottled up at the end and you get to, go out on the tasting appointments of life, you're a new person. And this, it's really exciting, and people don't realize that this is an opportunity to become an even better person, to grow to new levels. And so I try to stress that. I try to, build into the person that I promise you, at the end of the day, you will look back and you will say, this served me well. This served me well, and you will like the person you become. It's just getting the right support through the process is really where the challenge becomes.
Right. And I know for me, I've never been divorced, but I have divorced friends and even some relatives, that I'm like, it's just too toxic for me. And when I was 36, going into about 38, I started realizing, I read a quote, and it's my favorite quote. It's, life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And it's that kind of reinventing yourself. Who do I actually want to become myself? Not what other people are wanting, not what my family thinks I should be, not what my friends thinks I should be, but who does Tonya want to be? And there was a real, not only a challenge, because when you don't have those parameters set and you're not following back on them, you have to really adjust who you are in your core, not just physically, because this has all changed too, because I do not get out of bed looking this good.
You are so right. That was very well that was very well said, Tonya. It is so true. A lot of times, if you're in a difficult marriage and one or the other or both parties are not happy, I mean, how often do we try to satisfy them by changing ourselves, by becoming something, we placate, we play to their heart's desires and try to become the person that they want us to be so we can keep the peace, keep the relationship going. And what's happening to us and who we are on the inside, that real person is slowly going away, and this other false person is emerging. So you're so right. If the relationship is not working, chances are part of you was lost in that relationship. So it's a perfect opportunity to get that back. Not only get it back, but use the growth and the spiritual lessons and the wisdom, and actually take yourself to a whole new level, a whole new growth spurt that's going to make you like you're on steroids. I mean, you're not only better, you're back who you are, but now you're a bigger person than what you were. So,
and I think you have the option yourself to really be whoever you want to be. Whatever your hair you want to look like, whatever you want to do in life, it is only up to you. And it was funny because one of the friends that I divorced, I started realizing that it was only a one-way conversation. I was always helping her, and she never came and helped me back. And it was very painful after like 15 years of friendship to say goodbye to her. And the other day, after probably about 8 years I hadn't seen her, she came to an event that I was speaking at, and she was like, her eyes were like this big. She's like, who are you? She didn't
You
recognize
have
me at
changed
all.
so much. That's
And I'm
great.
like, I have moved on. You've stayed the same,
Right. And that's what happens sometimes. We get held back in our own growth, don't we? When we're trying to just keep things going and make the peace, when it's not that it's bad to move on. It's okay to outgrow people and say, this relationship served me to a certain point, and now it's time to move on because I'm going to a different level now. And you want the best for your friends and you want to support them, but if they don't support you or they hold you back somehow, and it is very hurtful if it's a one-sided relationship, and a marriage can be that way, and there's divorce in everything, isn't there? It's like,
Right.
I wish there was another word. I mean, divorce is like interchangeable with change, or outgrowth, something like that. And I don't know if you heard the Gwyneth Paltrow term that she put out about her divorce, which she's calling a conscious uncoupling.
Nice.
That's her term. That's kind of a euphemism for the word divorce, but it kind of has this, to me, it resonates kind of a sense of, we're consciously deciding through mutual respect that this no longer works. And we've been very mindful about it. We're very amicable. It's just time to move on because we've outgrown each other. So I thought that was a nice, soft way to make that expression, because divorce, I mean, when you hear the word divorce, I mean, if you got a divorce stamp on your forehead, people are like avoiding you like the plague, right? I mean, either they don't know what to say to you or they feel you're contaminated, like it's going to rub off on them. It's terrible.
Right.
So, but the fact of the matter is, statistically, it's over 50% in our country will become divorced. So it's something society is it's going to be prevalent in society. And I don't think divorce is ever going to change, because I think the way, society was set up years ago, where the husband and wife had to stay together to survive, way back when. And now we're just, we're not that way anymore. So we have options. And I think the divorce numbers probably won't come down, but maybe we can look at divorce differently. And
Exactly.
I'm certainly not a proponent for divorce, but I'm more of a proponent to end something than to stay in something that's hurting you or harming you. Or think about people in abusive situations that, finally wake up and get the courage to leave that relationship. Those are the people I'm really rooting for, right?
Exactly.
To change and rebuild. So,
I can see it, in a lot of people that I, know personally, family and stuff. They've gone through a lot of painful situations. A lot of them are still in them. They just won't give it up. And it's unfortunate. So we're running out of time. So tell us how people can go further with you. How can they connect with you?
Okay, well, I'd love it if I can direct people to my blog, which is meritagedivorce.com, and I'll spell Meritage. It's MERITAGE divorce.com. On there are also divorce journey workshops that are offered online, but I'm willing to give a couple seats to your listeners. If someone wants to participate in my journey, they can email me at Cheryl at meritagedivorce.com. So it's CHERYL at meritagedivorce.com for the first 2 people that respond. And I'll get back to them on the details. How's that?
Perfect. So don't assume that someone's already taken those spots. Do it. Get connected to Cheryl. People are like, but it's, been, who knows how long. Who cares? Connect with Cheryl. Right. She's fabulous. Buy her book. Show your book again. I love your book. It's a gorgeous book cover.
It's a wine barrel, so it's available on Amazon. And again, Meritage Divorce, MERITAGE Divorce. Thank you so much, Tonya.
Yay! So everybody, make sure you're on our next show. We're going to have so much more fun, have more fabulous people like Cheryl on. Maybe we'll have Cheryl come back on real soon. That would be fun. So this rest of the week, I want you to think about what's your opportunity that you're missing. What's an opportunity that you can take now that you've been avoiding? Maybe it is divorce. Maybe it's divorcing your family or a friend or a dog that needs to go bye-bye. Whatever it is, you never know. It could be a client, You know, a lot of times we don't want to give up on these clients because they're paying us, but a lot of times the divorce is much better to get rid of that person and let somebody else have them, right? So really value yourself from now on. So I will see you next week. This is Tonya Hofmann of the Change Your World TV show. And follow me at publicspeakersassociation.com.